Okay, we have learned recently that there are three ways to write a multiplication problem. You can say 5 times 8 with the x, which we're getting away from. Now that we're using variables, you sort of understand why. You could do 5 times 8, which we have sort of gravitated to. That's what we're using. But also we have learned that side by side means to multiply. So if you have something like this, then that means right here you're going to put a multiplication dot because that side by side means to multiply. So now today we're going to talk about that there's also three ways to write a division problem. You could do 81 divided by 3 like that. You can say 81 divided by 3 like that. And I'm about to make a statement that you're going to hear probably 1,000 times this school year. Every fraction is a division problem, and every division problem is a fraction, because I can also write 81 divided by 3. That fraction line says divided by. So all three of these say the exact same thing. So, knowing that, here's some example problems we're going to do today. This says right here, b divided by 9. So, if that bothers you, seeing that, if you want to rewrite that, b divided by 9 plus 12, subtract 3 times c, that is absolutely fine, because the problem in blue and the problem in red are the exact same problem. They're just written differently, different form. So then I would plug in an 81 for B, because that tells me to. Bring down everything else. And I would plug in a 4 for C, because that tells me to. And then I would do order of operations. I have no parentheses. I have no exponents, but I do have both multiplication and division, so I would do it from left to right, and then bring down everything else. I still have some multiplication and division. I have multiplication right there. And then I'm done with multiplication and division. Then I have adding and subtracting. And then, so I add and subtract from left to right. And so my answer is 9. Now, could I have done it exactly this way up here, the way it's written in blue? So let me go to blue. So I could have said 81 divided by 9 plus 12, subtract 3 times 4. Now, I'd had to put that parentheses around the 4, or it'll look like 34. So something you had to make it side by side, or like we did here, use a multiplication dot, something to show its multiplication and not 34. All right, on this problem, just to remind you again that when you have this space right there, that's saying side by side, and side by side means to multiply, so you would put that there. So 7 times 5y means 5 times y, so I'm going to write 5 times 9. Now if I wrote 59, it would have totally changed the problem. I got that 9 because y equals 9. 3x means 3 times x, which x is 4. So I have parentheses. I have multiplication, subtraction, and multiplication. So I multiply left to right. Still have multiplication in my parentheses. Finally, subtract my parentheses, and that's 33. So it's 231. So don't forget side by side. Here means to multiply. That doesn't mean 34. That means 3 times 4. And when you have that space there, you put that means side by side again, which means to multiply. And then a variable with an exponent. Again, side by side means to multiply. So that means 8 times a, and a is 5, plus b squared. B is 6, so this will be 6 squared. Subtract 32. I have no parentheses, but this time I do have an exponent. So that means 6 times 6. So 8 times 5 plus 36. So I'm done with exponents. Do I have any multiplication or division? Yes, I've got some multiplication. Done with multiplication and division. Do I have any adding or subtracting? I have both. So I do it from left to right. And all I got left to do is subtract. And my answer is 44. So these are examples. But the big thing we wanted to introduce today was the 3 ways you can write a division problem. And this way we're going to start seeing more and more and more.